but just remember, we're just all iron workers. And this isn't a bad gang shack, but that's what it is. That's where we come. We talk about what we have to do and how we're going to go forward. And first of all, I want to thank you for everything you do out there in the job site. I mean, everything that you're doing here, your activism. And y'all have pumped me up at this conference. And I appreciate that, and I want to thank you for that. Because you make us understand the lives we can change as a labor union, that we are a social movement. We're not just a hiring hall. We're not just an employment agency. And that's what we got to stand up for, and that's what we fight, to improve the lives of you and your families. And with that, we're all one union. Anybody here who's been an iron worker more than 20 years? If you would just stand up. These are some of the women who have broken through and created a path for all to follow. That's right. And that's what we do. We try to improve the lives of the next generation. That's how apprenticeship works. What our journeymen have created, we put it on the level. We want the apprentices to start at that. We want them to grow. We want them to pass on to the next generation, not only their skills, their expertise, but a better standard of living for them. So that's what we stand for. That's how we operate.
Tell me the top thing that your union is doing now to support women in the trades.
I think the number one thing is we had to come to the realization and the commitment that we cannot be all we can be as the Iron Workers Union if you can't be all you can as an iron worker. I look at our 150 outside local unions we have, they're laboratories. And we look at the great things done in California, Pacific Northwest, up through Minneapolis, Chicago, the great things that they've done to recruit and attract and retain women iron workers. And we want to duplicate that elsewhere. This entire nation needs to be rebuilt. And when we rebuild this nation, who does it? It's the iron workers that do it. And we're going to have opportunities to make huge headway that's never been before. I mean, let's face it, these last 5 years haven't been good to anybody. We got the chance to recover all that and much more in one sweep, but we all have to work together. It's not easy recruiting people to be iron workers. You know, let's face it. Let's face it, you know, there's only a small percentage of people that are cut out to be iron workers to begin with. And we have to find out where all that comes from. And that's part of what we're going to be working on with this committee, to really dissect where our best recruiting comes from. Where do we reach out? What gives us the best prospects for successors? Because we want people who can finish the apprenticeship, want people who can have long careers as a journeyman. I do want to thank the business managers here, the union representatives that took their time to be here and everything. The programs that they've helped develop here, this is what we're going to look and see how we take that across North America.